Salut! This video is dedicated to another special form of the verb recommended for your GCSE, la forme passive. Qu'est-ce que c'est? What is la forme passive? As opposed to the active form, which is the form we use the most, where the subject of the verb is doing the action, in la forme passive, or the passive form in English, the subject and the object will swap roles. You will visualize this best with your example on your document. The guide is explaining the visit. There is nothing unusual here in this sentence. The subject does the action as it is supposed to be, as in a normal sentence or normal situation if you want. So the guide is explaining the visit. The guide is the subject, is explaining the visit. That's pretty straightforward. This is considered as an active form. If you take now the second sentence, the visit is explained by the guide. Here you will notice that the guide is the one explaining. He is doing the action. But the verb explained is conjugated or agreeing with the visit. So the roles are swapped around. In the passive form, the grammatical subject of the verb is passive. He is not doing any action. How do we make such a thing? Just like in English, really. So once again, we are copying the English. You will have to follow the rule, as described on your second page of your document. You will have to start with the object receiving the action, so here the visit, la visite, followed by the verb to be, at whatever tense you need it to be. So here we've got in our sentence the present is, est in French, followed by the past participle of the verb you are looking for. Here you need the verb expliquer, which is to explain, and at its ed form, so explained, which will correspond to the past participle expliquer I accent that we've learned in the past module in le passé composé. So in our sentence, we want explained, which is expliquer in French. You now have to add by, or par, P-A-R, en français, and the object doing the action, by the guide, par le guide. La visite est expliquée par le guide. Et voilà, c'est tout. As we are using the past participle with être, do not forget to agree your verb with the actual grammatical subject. In this case, la visite, which is feminine. Does everything make sense? Should we try it with a second example? Look at this sentence. Plastic bottles are recycled by the citizens, which will be translated into les bouteilles en plastique sont recyclées par les citoyens. Les citoyens are the ones recycling, but les bouteilles plastiques are the actual grammatical subject of the verb sont recyclées, are recycled. Bouteille being feminine and plural, recyclé will need an extra I and an extra S as used with the verb être. You just have to translate as you would say in English, really. And remember to agree the past participle with the subject. And if you wanted to add a negation, you will do so by sandwiching the verb être, making our sentence les bouteilles plastiques ne sont pas recyclées par les citoyens. Les bouteilles plastiques ne sont pas recyclées par les citoyens. As I was mentioning, the verb être can, in this passive form, be at any tense, present, passé, or even future. You will find more examples in the following pages so you can have an idea on how it looks like. You don't have to use this form, but if you want to reach the highest mark, you should. It isn't difficult at all because it's pretty much like in English. Start practicing now in the quiz, but also in your homework or at school, and you will see you will get it in no time. Allez, bon courage et bravo. That's it for me here. Merci beaucoup et à très bientôt in the next video.